All right, leave it to me not keeping my word, and this is going to be a long one. But maybe we'll catch up at some point. No promises anymore. So let's backtrack to February of 2025's training. Let's go over the voiceover. This is like a 25-minute video, so I'm going to catch up. I guess I'm going to keep posting reels until I can, or shorts until I can catch up to the long form. I want to get back to the weekly long form, but I don't want to post out of order. That's just like the OCD thing of me. But yeah, let's get into February. It's a good training month, I guess. And I'm going to voice over it and go through it with y'all. So let's do it. All right, so I cut a lot of stuff out. So you might only see like one set of something. You're not going to see everything. So we got to back up way up to February 1st, Saturday, February 1st. This was a day where I had athletic warm-up, some hip snatches. So I was working the hip position, which I'm not great at, into a full snatch, which the overhead mobility has been really bad at this time of year. I just really haven't been working on it. One of those things is a double-edged sword of strength to mobility training. Got into some front squats, 5 sets of 5 and 135 kilos. Not my best, but good solid work. And then we had some pause squats after that. So once again, if you guys follow me along long enough, what you'll notice is I have to kind of rotate around my training and move stuff around based off of what equipment I have at what days, whether I'm at the gym, at Firehouse, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So on this day, so what you're seeing here is pause squats, no belt, no knee sleeves at 110 kilos, 242 pounds after the squat volume. So this was pushing a lot of legs in the off season. And I'm sorry, my allergies have been going crazy because it's now May 18th when I'm recording the voiceover for this February training. And I'm sorry that video was boring. So we're going to jump forward a few days. Sunday, the 2nd, took off. Monday, did some pull-ups and upper body BS. And then we're into Tuesday. Started with WOB, my worst event. And then we hit some short chain heavyweight for distance, some normal lightweight, some bench, squat, and farmer's handle stuff. So the weights early season, I've decided this year to kind of rotate around whether I'm doing short chain, long chain. And every practice is one of those things you just go in and practice a certain cue. And it's May right now when I'm doing the voiceover, so let's be real. I have no idea what I was cueing on these days. And I don't have notes on if this day went well. I started typically writing down some of the distances and some notes because of right now I'm going back and not knowing how they're going. Assuming it's May, this is February, it's going to be knocking rust off. That was actually a bomb throw. So, yeah, this might have been a bomb practice. That was a bomb throw. That one looked good too. Yeah, good throws. So move on to the squats. We had 175 kilos, which is like 385 for 6, and then drop sets down at 157.5 kilos for 3 sets of 6. So this is kind of how I've been doing things. This squat cycle is a top set with some down sets. Bench, I've kind of been doing the slingshot thing, 3 sets of 5, and then the last set is kind of an AMRAP set. So this is roughly 315 for 10. And then we have some farmer's handles walks with 225 per hand. These handles are awesome. They weigh 45 pounds a piece, so it makes life easy. And then I did a pick at 275 per hand, which there's very few times I've ever done a pick or hold farmers over at 275 or more per hand ever in my life. So just on a whim, that was pretty nice. And I didn't have video of it, of course. And here's that 315 for 10. I guess things are out of order, so maybe we have that handle. Yeah, the pick video is coming up here in a second, so they just got out of order. This happens all the time. But a very solid train day. I'm happy with it. I've done this without a slingshot before, 315 for 10, and here's that pick video. It's kind of just a pick and hold, kind of a grip. So let's just see if I could do it. I think I did like a 5 count hold. So into Wednesday. I think this was one of the first hammer videos of the season. So we started with some one winds, loosening up, just seeing how those would go. And this was the day that I about took out that little white sign over there on the right. In one of these throws, I release it early. I think it's when I get the full throws. And I guess it's going to be out of order again. Yes, it is, 100%. So, sorry, y'all. We're going to jump into the workout that was before those hammers, I believe. And this is a push press plus push jerk plus split jerk. And you can see the push jerk I just suck at. Dude, I tell you what, having the jerk blocks and the pads, like dropping the weight after every rep, makes life so much nicer on my front rack immobility and my shoulder pain. Like, it just sucks re-racking. I've really got to spend some time, and at this point it's May and I still haven't improved it. I really am going to maybe have to spend some diligent time in the off season, really trying to improve my shoulder mobility, to improve my lifts a little bit, and hopefully my throws. Hopefully, maybe I need to do that now and work on it and see if it doesn't like lengthen my arms out on hammer and I throw hammers further because of it. This is a snatch high pull plus a low hang power snatch, plus a power snatch. So snatch pull. Yep. Here's the low hang power snatch. Oh, this is clean, power clean. So it was clean pull plus low hang power clean as well. Pretty solid sets there today. The snatch is in the 100, low 100, 103. Cleans 135, 138. This is 138 here, and I have it set at 140. So to have it with the pull and the clean, kind of the extra volume there, not doing a lot of deadlifts. So that extra pull is kind of my extra deadlift volume. Happy with how that felt. So I guess maybe they deleted the hammer throws. I'm sorry. I about took out that little sign. It was pretty funny. Unless it's going to come back in a random order at some point. Move on to Thursday the 6th. We got shot put practice. So if you see there, my fingers are taped up. I have been getting this weird pain like in the base knuckle of my index finger, almost in my palm, in between my first and second fingers. Taping them up, it's manageable, but I don't know what I did. It had to have been an errant throw or something. Very weird. There you see, man, it came off bad. It hurt. And now honestly, it ends up being like a little gun shy after that. That one, hands up in the air, like, what am I doing? And or why did it go so well? Let's see that one. Yeah, not good. Not happy. So we'll move on. A couple days later, day of Friday at work, hit some rear foot elevated split squats. Really like how those are feeling. Oh, God, this wob looks terrible. I remember this day. Inverse curl, smokes my hamstrings and then some upper stuff. But this morning, I remember this day, this wob, it feels like I am moving in molasses. I can't get it going. I definitely took a bunch of pulls, and then I started the lightweight, and I literally have a note that says, not good, shut down early. I might only taken 2-3 throws, and that's one of those things is some of those days it's just not there. I am moving like molasses. Now, actually, it's after a Friday night at work. I'm assuming we had a rough night. Just one of those things like the hindrance of the job. And there you go. There's the just trying to not get too pissed off, and I shut it down to not ingrain bad habits. I'm moving slow as mud. I'm just dead. Need to take the day off. Things didn't go well. It's frustrating when you have limited time to practice and you don't make good of it, but that's how it goes sometimes. And I just remember this being like just so frustrating. And then once again, I saw myself shake that left leg. In comes the early season pain in that front shin splint from throwing volume. And I'm shaking my head after every one of these throws. This is going to be the last one. We take the Sunday off, and there you go. Perfect, the one to end on. I shut it down after that. Come back and hit a back squat PR on Monday. So go figure, a little day of rest. And back squat PR, 190 kilos, 418 for 8. Definitely think I had more in me after watching these. 8 was above a goal of at least 6. So I just shut it down. It was one of those things like, pushing 2 more actually get me anything that much more out of it. Like, so it's a tough call. Like when you look at it that way, like if I'm confident I could have done more, like if this is the last rep, like there's more in the tank there. But then also hit another PR, sandbag over bar, 300-pound sandbag. First time ever messing with it, and forgot to weight down the reyoke. That was a little rough, a little sketchy. So you can see weighted it down with a couple sandbags here. But first time ever messing with this thing, and was successful loading it over the high bar, so 56-inch bar for 3 reps. Stoked with it, happy. Hoping it carries over to some more stone loading future in the year. Definitely need more reps with it. The next day, this is at work again. Went live, so just screenshotted the live stuff. Thought it'd be a little different. So we have a snatch pull plus a power snatch plus an overhead squat. Worked up to 235, which is 106 kilos-ish, something like that. So really happy for that on this complex. overhead squat, adding that extra squat in there, which is tough with squat volume just because it's working the mobility. And back to, this is a couple days later. The following day is another day at the firehouse. I don't like videoing when I'm crammed in the weight room with all the guys. We have a really small weight room and everybody lives together. I've got some solid slingshot benching, rear foot elevated split squats, and inverse curls. Here we have push press plus power jerk plus split jerk, 120, and then up to for doubles, and then up to 131 for singles. Rough. So you see my lockout's not there, and a lot of that's mobility related and or doing it the day after bench. Shoulders are a little bit up. Very, very, honestly, amazing power clean day following here. 135 for 2 doubles, and then 141, 144, and 147. 147 ties my lifetime PR power clean. So all things considering, we're in mid-February. I'm hitting tying PR power clean numbers. Here it is right here. And this is with the extra pull. Stoked with that. I mean, means leg strength is feeling fine. Next, had a double day at work Friday and Saturday. And so Saturday, took Friday off. Saturday, here we are. 5 sets of 5 at 155 kilos. Now we're cooking. For me, front squat volume, that's up there for me, 155 kilos. So volume PRs. All things considering, like I said, we are mid-February on the throwing year, and the lifting numbers are, I mean, going really well. Hard to be mad with a lot. Like I said, mobility's not great, but man, some of this stuff is freaking cooking. Now, this is about the only day I ever did this stuff, and now that I'm seeing it right now in May, and I did this back mid-February, I need to do it again. Hit some short sprints there in the gym and some vertical jumps, just trying to we have something there to try to jump to. Some sandbag wob, and then some full spin rotation work. So this ended up being a kind of thrower workout, and I'm like, why am I not doing more of this as I see this right now? So this might become another, like an off day type deal, very high intensity, low volume, as well as maybe not such high intensity on some of the stuff, but very technical work on some stuff, and just higher frequency of the little things. These days that I'm taking off, why don't I do some of this type stuff right here? So this is a drill I saw somebody do, and this is obviously using a shoulder rock. I've got a little weight on the one end, but it kind of gives me that feel of the weight not tucked in the neck, but for full spin in the shot put to work my footwork. So this is just trying to teach myself, kind of trying to think about getting out over the left, feeling the right leg pull me around in the circle. And so just trying to feel separation too, trying to feel like, and see, it's not perfect. Obviously these are tennis shoes on turf. It doesn't rotate perfectly either, or they're running shoes. But just, this was kind of like a start to learning how to full spin. Seeing this drill, and just, it gave me a really good feel. So I really liked being able to hold that and kind of feel that separation there at the finish. So here's just a different angle on it. Just trying to look at things and learn. I really liked how I did with this. And once again, I didn't do this that much until I started doing full spin. But I need to go back and hit some more of this. And I have not committed to the full spin, but I think practicing the full spin has actually helped my MSA. Trying to feel a little bit more separation and speed out of the back is helping. So it's like, honestly, the MSA should help or should work towards the full spin, but with the Highland games, with the surfaces that we throw off of, the grass is not consistent all the time, and I'm not consistent with the full spin. This is something that I think maybe one's helping the other. All right, let's see where we're at here. This is some hip snatch again. This is actually... this is that same workout. And so I called this the thrower snot. I worked up here, and you saw me 2 different styles here. A shoulders way forward and a thrower style hip snatch. And I left all the weights in here in. I did 40 kilos, did put that. Here's 60. So I'm doing it like way shoulders forward versus vertical, how I normally do them. And then I committed to just doing this really far shoulders forward. Like the whole, I've seen Dan McKim do it. Look at this. A lot of throwers will do it, this very far forward hip snatch. I don't know. I don't love it. I don't think it translates perfectly to how I snatch. But this is, if we're throwers, we need to work on moving the bar. I need to get my Tendo out and actually measure some bar speeds. But this is the first time ever doing these snatches like this. And I work up to 100 kilos for 3 of the hip snatch. I'm going to have to say that there might be something to it. And I honestly haven't done it since this day. So this is a really good day to stumble back across on this video, because now it's something that, you know what, I might put back in there a little bit more. It went really well. Like, I was trying, goal is for a triple, moving the bar as hard and as fast as possible. And it works. So here's actually, this is 90 kilos. And I don't know, maybe it's just using more upper body momentum. I don't know if I'm necessarily using the legs anymore better than normal. But it's hard to argue. I need to just measure bar speed, like I said. So we'll move on to the next day. This is Monday, back squat, 100. So backtracked a little bit, changing volumes, 180 kilos for 4. So this is almost kind of like a mini deload. It was very mentally, felt good to be able to go in and know all I have to do is 180 for 4 compared to the 190 for 8 the previous week on back squat, and that's in kilos. So this is 396 for 4, and I use the Duffalo bar. It feels so much better on the legs. On the shoulders. And then had my down sets. We only do a little bit of those. Then I hit the Denny rings. So the mock Denny rings that I have kind of up to 150 and 130 kilos per hand. So 330 and 286. Nothing crazy. I'm so far out. It's just kind of working in the technique and feeling it. Don't want to just absolutely destroy the thumbs every week for no reason. And here's the glute ham sit-ups, 3 sets of 5 with a 40-pound dumbbell. Really like the full range of motion on these. I think it translates to like a hammer. Really having that big stretch with the dumbbell makes it hard. And then had a little fun because it was just after Valentine's Day with the, what is this? The power pole, the Chuck Vogelpool power pole from Lex and Ironworks. This thing is a posterior chain device. You can kind of use it. You can do front squats, back squats, Zercher squats. It's the harness. You can load it, or like I have here, you can load the weight on the pin. You can do a lot of movements with it. They do good mornings. You can band it. A lot of variations. You see I'm doing stupid faces because I made a stupid TikTok with this video, and now I'm hating that I didn't cut it in this video. But so let's segue into, hey, if you've made it this far, you guys are enough of a fan to follow along and see all this different training that I do. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe. Comment something. Give me something. The comments lead to more this popping up on the algorithm more and being seen by more people. The more activity this video gets. And like I said, I'm gonna try to catch up. So. Oh, we're going to move them multiple days ahead. So more 2 work days, had some pause squats I did by themselves and some bench, and now we're back to the behind the neck jerks. Well, this is a transition from push press and split jerk, etc., to behind the neck jerks up to 140 kilos, snatch high pull plus low hang snatch up to 100 kilos for 5 sets. And so, just more, like I said, pulling volume. And then we had power clean doubles up to 140 kilos, 6 doubles, worked 130 up to 140, 2 kilo jumps every time. And I wish I had in here, I don't think I have some of the other core work I have. So more heavy core work. I'm going to keep doing that. And then indoor shot put. I actually threw inside this day. It was raining, and I did some indoor stands. Had to watch out for the people in the gym. But and one thing I'm seeing right now is thinking about between January this year and I'm in May right now when I'm doing the voiceover, I have hit so many more power cleans, let's just say above 130 kilos, and a lot of snatch work above 100 kilos, maybe more than ever. So hopefully that eventually consistently transitions to bigger throws. Later in the year, I do hit a power clean PR, and I didn't throw wob any higher. So maybe these don't correlate perfectly, but maybe some other things will. And here's just, you see a couple reps. I had to watch out for kind of these other people in the gym. And I set up pads down at the other end to try to catch it. This is just some stand throws, just once again working on some separation. This is just with the 16, so I don't think it's going to translate a ton. But luckily just having Cody and one of his clients there in the gym, so I was able to get a couple in. We'll move forward. Muscle snatches. So obviously I've been changing up some variations on some different things and hit muscle snatches, 3 sets of 3 at 80 kilos, some front squats, 4x4 at 150. So like I said, just recently, this was kind of like a reset week, a new phase, dropping the loads to increase the intensities. So we had hit 5x5 at 155, This is 4x4 at 150. This is a week later, so still a pretty solid amount of volume for yours truly. And some other accessory work, some broad jumps and triple broad jumps, which I'm glad I have those written down because I think I've beat those. And then we'll move into, I hiked on Sunday, and then we had a Monday work day. And now I didn't video anything, but I hit about 30-ish reps with the full spin and the shot put at work. Just really trying to learn stuff that day. And then moved on to what you're hearing Tuesday, the 25th. We're almost done with this video. Another probably not amazing practice seeing that throw. But through the short chain 56 and the lightweight, cut a lot of the reps out here. I think I probably only took about 5, 6 up to, there's no way I took more than 10 each. It just was not there that day. I see having a reset there. So yeah, a little rough in the throws, but a little bit of pain in that shin, but obviously very hot and sweaty if I end up shirtless. Heck, lifts are going good. It's February. I don't have to worry about the throws completely yet. It's still, I mean, it is demotivating, but here's snatch pull plus power snatch up to 103 kilos, which is that right there. Back squat, 190 for 4. So having already done this for 8, still mental win to be able to step under and have to just do 190 for 4. A lot of good volume, though, 170 for 4x4 after. And I think I'm really getting to the end of this video. I don't think I have anything from the last couple days. But here was pretty cool. Hadn't played with this ever that heavy. Husafel worked up to 270 pounds on the Husafel stone with a 225 sandbag little medley. And then a couple other things we have a few down the road to finish off February. Hit heavy and lightweight, went 3470 in practice and a 114 light hammer on the 28th Friday. I don't know if I have video of that, so that's why I'm telling you now, and we'll talk about it if I do. Hit some jerks, 140 for five sets of 2 behind the neck jerks, 140 kilos. And 5 doubles at 137 on power clean. So don't know how much more of this video I have with that to finish out February. And I know that this Husafel started to get a little heavy here. This was 270. See, the waddle slows down a little bit. So a little while before I have to worry about maybe the Husafel. Hint, hint. Long hint. But definitely something I want to try to do at one point in my life. At some point in my life. And just decided to medley it up. A little conditioning work. And yeah. I do have some jerk work coming up, so we'll look at those. But you guys, if you watch these videos this long, you guys are Highland Games fans. You guys are training footage fans. I appreciate you guys as much as you appreciate this. I love watching this type of footage myself. I mean, I used to consume all of Matt Vincent's videos. All of his were one of the ones that you look forward to. Used to watch the old super training videos, so pretty religiously. So this was a solid day of lifting here. Just very, if these numbers are routine for me, I'm happy with that. And then you'll see, actually, I have more sit-ups. I can't zoom forward when I'm doing the voiceover, but full range motion as much as I can with the sit-ups. This does tend to push a little bit of pain in my low back, but it's all tolerable. And I guess I do have some of the throwing footage. So we'll not have much, but we'll finish off with some of the throwing footage. Obviously, I had some wob. The weights went really well. 34 is not amazing. 70 is not amazing. But after the last few practices being a little shisty, I was kind of happy to just hit those numbers. They felt, I remember this now that I see this, my wearing that t-shirt. These felt better than they went that day. At least in the heavyweight, I thought they were better than they were. But hey, February gives me the end of February mark to know 3470. So maybe next year, 2026. If I can beat 3470 in that time frame, I'll be happy with it. I'm pretty sure I've already beat those numbers this year. I did Italy in this video. I threw that one lightweight. I'm pretty sure it was like 74, 75. Just watching where it lands. But yeah, so let's finish off. This is a good month of training in the grand scheme. Body's a little beat up here and there. Throws aren't perfect, but hey, we're surviving. And maybe this is the hammer footage is all out of whack and we're coming back to it here at the end. Oh, this is so funny. So some of those ones from earlier were way out of order. Here we go. Back to the one winds. So I've been using these as kind of the warm up and get some feel of a lift. And then when we go to the fulls, this is all light hammer. We go to the fulls, I about take out that sign on one of them. You'll see me kind of like grab my head. It went about 114, I think, as well when it went to take out that sign. And actually, I guess I left all these throws in here. Here's the fulls. Oh, there it is. Nope, that wasn't far enough to the side. Maybe this one's it. It's sketchy. No, not that one. It's this next one. This one's longer. I made a TikTok out of this one too. I said, oh no. I mean, it just missed that sign. It would have been good because I hadn't been throwing at this park very long. But to sneak a 114 out early in the year, pretty solid for me when my best in practice ever is in the, like, right around 120. But that's been a few years since I've been anywhere close to that. I know that, here's that sign.
Well,
that's how close we landed. Across the sidewalk.
A little bit of wild throw
and
here.
Right next to that freaking sign.
We snuck
signing
that
off.
one in.
Thank you guys if you're fans.
Here between a sign
I love you. Take care. Throw far.
Let me tell you.